All right, let's dive in. Meditation.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's talking about it.
Seems like it. Yeah.
So we're looking at this article from mindful.org called How to Meditate.
How to meditate. Sounds good.
And it seems, kind of geared towards beginners,
Okay. Yeah.
which I think is perfect because, in this deep dive, we're going to, figure out what it is, why it could be good for us, and how to get started.
Yeah. Simple ways to get started.
Like no mountaintop retreats or anything required.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of the beauty of it, is that it is accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
It's not just for Zen masters and people who, live that kind of lifestyle. Anyone can do it.
Right. And that's kind of, the beauty of it is that it can actually be really practical.
It can. Yeah.
For especially for someone like you who's always learning new things.
I try to. Yeah.
Okay. So, first things first, what is it?
Like, what is meditation?
Yeah.
So the article, it describes meditation as like a practice of focusing your mind
Okay.
to achieve a sense of calm and clarity.
Oh, okay.
And it talks a lot about mindfulness meditation, which really involves paying attention to your breath.
Okay.
So that becomes kind of like the anchor
Oh, okay.
for your attention.
Gotcha.
And when your mind wanders, which it will, you just gently guide it back to your breath.
So it's not about emptying your mind completely, which is kind of,
No, not at all.
It's more about being aware of when it wanders and bringing it back.
Yeah, it's about noticing. Yeah, exactly. Just noticing that it's wandered and gently bringing it back.
Right.
And there's a funny story in the article. Sharon Salzberg, who's very well known in the meditation world. She talks about how her very first meditation experience, her mind wandered after one breath. So she just took one breath and her mind was gone.
Yeah.
And it's really relatable, I think we can all relate to that.
Yeah, totally. Makes me feel a lot better, if someone who's really, really into it, that happens to them.
And it happens to everyone.
That makes me feel like it's okay for me too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so why bother? What's in it for me?
That's the key question, right? Why do any of this?
Right, exactly.
So, the article lists a lot of benefits, but one that really stands out to me, especially for you as a learner, is improved focus.
Okay.
And self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Okay.
So if you think about it, improved focus helps you absorb information more effectively.
Right.
And self-awareness helps you kind of unlock new levels of personal growth.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of, those are some pretty powerful tools.
Yeah, that's true. Those are very powerful. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we get started?
How do we do it? Right. How do we actually do it?
Yeah. So the article lays out this 7-step guide.
7 steps.
7 steps. Yeah, but we don't have to go through all of them right now. We can kind of just hit the highlights.
Okay.
So the first step is to find a comfortable and quiet space.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be some special meditation room. It can be, you can sit in a chair, you can sit on the floor, just whatever's comfortable.
Okay.
And then set a time limit.
Okay.
Even if it's just 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I can make a difference.
I can manage 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then the next step is to focus on your breath.
Right.
So, you pay attention to the feeling of each inhale and each exhale.
Okay.
And remember, when your mind wanders, which it will, you just gently bring it back. So there's no judgment.
Okay.
It's just like a gentle redirect.
Okay.
It's kind of like training a puppy. You need patience and consistency.
Gotcha. Like a gentle, no, come back over here.
Exactly. Yeah. Just come back to the breath.
Come back to the breath. Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So what about the rest of the steps? Do they kind of build on this?
They do. Yeah. They do. So steps 3 through 5 are really about staying with the breath, noticing when your mind wanders, and continuing to return to the breath.
Okay.
So you're basically just practicing that gentle redirection over and over.
Gotcha.
And then steps 6 and 7 are really about closing the meditation with kindness.
Oh, okay. Kindness to yourself.
Kindness to yourself, yeah. So, acknowledge your thoughts and feelings without judgment, and then gently open your eyes.
Okay.
Notice the sounds around you. Notice how your body feels.
So it's like a gentle transition.
It is. It's a transition back to the real world.
Back to the real world, okay.
Yeah. And the article quotes Sharon Salzberg again, and she says, The most important thing is that you sit down to meditate. This demonstrates your commitment to yourself and to change.
I like that. I like that. It puts the emphasis on just showing up.
It does. It's about showing up.
Yeah. Okay. But let's be realistic. How much time, should someone actually dedicate to this to see those benefits?
To see the benefits. Well, that's the amazing thing.
Okay.
Is that even just 5 minutes a day can make a difference.
Oh, wow.
And there's research to back that up.
Okay.
A neuroscientist named Amishi Jha,
Go ahead.
she found that just 12 minutes of meditation, 5 days a week, can actually strengthen your attention.
So you don't need to spend hours a day,
No.
on a mountaintop.
Nope, you don't.
Okay.
It's very doable.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's very encouraging, actually.
Yeah. It is. It is.
But how do you make it a habit,
How do you make it stick?
Yeah, life can get pretty crazy. I
Yeah.
can see myself forgetting about it or pushing it down on the to-do list.
It happens. It happens. That's where what the article calls behavior design tips come in.
Behavior design.
So these are really all about overcoming autopilot and consciously integrating mindfulness into your life.
Okay.
So it's like hacking your habits, basically.
Okay, I like that. Hacking your habits.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the tips?
So think about those sticky notes.
Yeah.
We all use,
Yeah.
right? So the article suggests placing meditation reminders in strategic locations.
Okay.
So, maybe put one on your bathroom mirror, on your laptop,
Yeah.
maybe even the fridge, anywhere you're likely to see it.
Okay, so it reminds you, basically.
Exactly. Just a little reminder to take a pause.
Okay, but then it just becomes part of the background.
That's true. You get used to it.
Yeah, you stop seeing it. You have a picture on the wall.
Yeah.
Eventually you stop seeing it.
That's why they suggest refreshing those reminders regularly.
Oh, okay.
So, maybe change up the color of the sticky note, the wording, the location every few days.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's like tricking your brain, basically.
It's tricking your brain into paying attention.
Yeah. Okay. Any other kind of quirky tips that stuck out?
One that I really love is creating what they call if this, then that messages.
Okay.
To trigger mindfulness in specific situations.
Oh, okay. So if this happens,
If this happens.
I do that.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
So, for example, if phone rings, then take a deep breath before answering.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or if office door, then deep breath.
Okay. So to help you transition into work mode.
Exactly. And you can really get creative with these.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You
Yeah.
know, it's like hacking your habits
It is.
for a more mindful life.
Exactly.
Okay. I think that's a great place to pause
Okay. Sounds good.
for part one of our deep dive here.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot, but I'm eager to learn more about those
Yeah.
different types of meditations.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll get into that in part 2.
Yeah.
We'll talk about guided meditations,
Okay.
body scans,
Okay.
even walking meditation. So, there's a whole world out there to explore, and we'll help you kind of figure out what might resonate with you.
Yeah, I'm feeling more intrigued and maybe less intimidated.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, looking forward to part 2.
See you there.
Yeah. All right, so back to meditation for beginners. We've kind of laid the groundwork,
Yeah, the foundation.
but now I'm ready to explore those different meditation practices.
Different types. Yeah. So the article highlights a few different approaches, each with its own unique flavor.
Okay.
But before we get into the specifics, maybe we should address something that, I think a lot of people experience when they start something new.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe some common questions, doubts.
Yeah. Like, am I doing this right?
Exactly, yeah.
Is everyone else's mind just as busy as mine?
Yeah, totally. So the article actually points out that the very fact that you're even wondering if you're capable of meditating means you've already begun.
Oh, okay.
Because you're aware.
Okay.
You have that self-awareness, which is really the first step.
I like that. That's good reframing.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What other common questions do they address?
One that I thought was interesting is, people often wonder, when's the best time to meditate?
Okay.
And really, there's no right answer. It depends on your schedule, your preferences.
Oh, okay.
Mornings, evenings, even your lunch break.
Okay, so just find that sweet spot where it kind of works for you.
Yeah, find that time where it feels natural and it can easily fit into your routine.
Okay. So, but I could see myself like, oh, I'll just do it when it's most convenient.
Right, and they actually caution against that.
Okay.
Because they say that, convenient often turns into tomorrow.
Right.
So it's really about, prioritizing the practice.
Okay.
And making it a non-negotiable part of your day.
Oh, okay. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about distractions? Like, I can see myself, trying to meditate. My cat jumps on my lap,
Yeah, the furry friends.
wants attention. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. The article talks about that.
Okay.
And their advice is not to fight distractions like they're like dragons to be slain,
Okay.
but to allow them to be.
Okay.
So if your cat wants to cuddle,
Yeah.
let it be.
Okay. Like, don't interrupt your practice.
Exactly. Just let it be part of the experience.
Okay. So it's more about like accepting those interruptions
Accepting, exactly.
rather than letting them, throw you off completely.
Yeah. And that acceptance also extends to those times when, well, frankly, your own thoughts might feel like the biggest distraction.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've all been there.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like sometimes those thoughts are more like a runaway train.
A runaway train, exactly. And the article emphasizes, this is normal. This is what minds do. Meditation can kind of stir things up. The key is to just observe those thoughts without judgment.
Okay.
And then gently redirect your attention back to the breath.
So it's not about like completely stopping your thoughts.
No, it's not about stopping them altogether.
Okay.
It's more about learning to kind of navigate them with more awareness.
Yeah. Okay. So you become aware of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where those different meditation practices that we mentioned like come in.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So the article dives into a few, each with a different approach.
Okay.
So the first one they talk about are guided meditations.
Guided meditations.
And these are great, especially if you prefer a little more structure.
Okay.
And they specifically suggest trying the ones led by Barry Boyce.
Okay.
He's the editor-in-chief of Mindful.
Oh, okay. Fine.
And he has options ranging from 1 minute to 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you can kind of choose what fits into your available time.
Yeah. I like those. Like those options are really helpful.
Yeah.
What other types of meditations do they mention?
So they also describe what's called a body scan
Okay.
and walking meditations.
Walking meditations. Okay.
So the body scan is really interesting. It encourages you to bring your attention to different parts of your body,
Okay.
noticing the sensations, but again, without judgment.
Yep.
It's almost like a mental massage, if you will.
That sounds really relaxing, actually.
It is.
Okay. What about walking meditations?
So walking meditation is pretty simple, just as it sounds.
Okay.
It's really about being present with the physical sensations of walking. So, noticing each step, the movement of your legs, your feet connecting with the ground.
So it's like turning like an everyday activity into a mindful one.
Exactly. It's a way to bring mindfulness into everyday life.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Anything else that in the article that kind of like sparked your curiosity?
There was one more practice they mentioned that I thought was really intriguing. It's
Got it.
called loving kindness meditation.
Loving kindness meditation. Oh.
And it's all about cultivating compassion,
Oh, wow. Okay.
both for yourself and for others.
Okay.
And it basically involves silently repeating phrases that express well wishes. So traditional phrases include things like, may I be safe,
Wow.
may I be happy,
Okay.
may I be healthy, may I live with ease.
Okay.
And you start by directing these phrases toward yourself,
Uh-huh.
and then gradually expand them to include loved ones, acquaintances, strangers, and eventually all beings.
So it's kind of like sending out like positive vibes into the world.
Exactly. It's like a ripple effect of compassion.
I like that. I like that a lot. Did they say how often you should do this type of meditation?
They didn't specify, but they did emphasize that it's not about forcing yourself to feel certain emotions.
Okay.
It's more about planting these seeds of compassion and allowing them to grow organically.
Okay, so it's about like the intention.
Intention and practice.
Yeah.
Not necessarily striving for some, perfect state of loving kindness.
Right. Okay. So it's fascinating to think about how, all these practices, whether it's the breath awareness, the body scan,
Yeah.
this loving kindness meditation, they can help us cultivate that mindfulness muscle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like we're building like a foundation of awareness
Yeah, like a foundation.
through these dedicated practices.
Right.
And then that can kind of like spill over into other areas of our life.
Exactly.
Like imagine approaching a stressful meeting with that same sense of calm
Yeah.
that we cultivate during meditation.
Absolutely. Or navigating a difficult conversation with a loved one.
Oh yeah.
With more patience, understanding.
Right, yeah.
The possibilities are really endless.
Yeah, this is exciting. But I have to admit, like, part of me is still a little skeptical.
Okay.
Like,
Mhm.
is there any real science to back up these claims?
Oh, yeah.
About the benefits of meditation? Or is it just like a feel-good practice?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So the article itself doesn't delve into, the scientific details. But there's a ton of research out there that demonstrates, the effects of meditation, both on the brain and the body.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm officially intrigued. Give me the highlights.
Okay. So, for starters, studies have shown that meditation can actually change the structure of your brain.
Oh, wow.
So it can increase gray matter in areas associated with attention, emotional regulation, compassion.
Okay.
And it can actually decrease gray matter in the amygdala, which is the brain's fear center.
So it's not just some like, mystical practice.
Right.
It's literally like rewiring our brains for the better.
It is, yeah.
Wow. Okay, is there more?
Oh, there's more, yeah. So meditation has also been shown to reduce stress hormones like cortisol,
Okay.
which can have a cascade of positive effects on our physical health. So, it can lower blood pressure, improve sleep quality,
Okay.
even boost the immune system.
Wow, that's some serious benefits.
It is.
It seems like it's really a holistic practice
It is.
that impacts our well-being on multiple levels.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the more we learn about the science of meditation, the more we understand why it's been practiced for thousands of years across various cultures.
Yeah, it's not just a fad.
No.
It's like time tested.
It's time tested.
with real scientific backing.
Yeah.
Okay, but beyond, the science and the techniques,
Yeah.
there's something like, deeply personal
Yeah.
and transformative about it.
Absolutely.
It's about like cultivating this deeper connection
Yeah.
with ourselves, with others, and with the present moment.
Beautifully said, yeah. It's a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
It's a pathway to living a more mindful and meaningful life.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground
We have.
in this part of our deep dive. We've explored different types of meditation practices, touched on the fascinating science behind the benefits,
Yeah.
and even delved into this idea of bringing mindfulness to everyday life.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I'm sure there were still, challenges ahead,
Of course.
especially for someone like me who's just starting out.
For sure. And that's exactly what we're going to explore in part 3.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about some of the common hurdles that beginners face,
Okay.
how to overcome them,
Okay.
and we'll share some additional resources to kind of support you on your meditation journey.
This is so exciting. I'm feeling inspired to incorporate this into my life.
That's great to hear.
So yeah, looking forward to part 3.
See you there.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive final part, all about meditation for beginners. It's been quite a journey.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
Yeah, exploring the what and why, and even the how.
Yeah, those practical benefits you were curious about. And even like the science, the fascinating science behind it.
The science, yeah.
Showing how it can really change our brains and bodies for the better.
It's definitely been eye-opening.
It is.
But let's face it, starting anything new can be, challenging.
Sure. Yeah.
What are like some of the common hurdles that beginners might face?
Yeah, the article, it points to one that I think we can all relate to, that inner critic.
Oh yeah, that inner critic.
You know, that voice that whispers, like, you're doing it wrong, or this isn't for you.
Oh, I know that voice well.
Yeah, and it can be so discouraging.
Yeah.
Especially when you're, trying to cultivate this sense of peace and stillness.
Yeah, it seems like it pops up the second I try to, like, have some silence.
Exactly. It does.
So how do we deal with that?
Yeah.
The inner critic and the self-doubt.
I think the key is to remember that meditation is a practice, not a performance.
Okay.
There's no perfect way to do it. It's about showing up with a willingness to just observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment.
Okay.
Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend.
So that self-compassion piece is really important.
It is.
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in, like, am I doing it right?
Right. And also, remember that everyone's mind wanders. It's not a sign of failure, it's just part of being human.
Okay.
Even experienced meditators deal with distractions.
Oh, okay.
The skill you're developing is that gentle guiding back again and again.
Yeah, it's like you're building that muscle.
Right, exactly.
The more you do it, the stronger it gets.
The stronger it gets, yeah.
But even with the best intentions, like, finding the time to meditate can be a real struggle.
It can, yeah. Life gets busy.
Yeah.
It does. And the article acknowledges that. They say, look, time constraints are a common obstacle, but they remind us that even just 5 minutes a day can make a difference.
Yeah, so it's about prioritizing it.
It is.
Yeah.
Think of it as an essential part of your self-care routine.
Oh.
Just like brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Or taking a shower.
Okay, so weave it into your day.
Weave it into your day, exactly.
Treat it like an optional thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are so many ways to do that. You can meditate while you're commuting.
Oh, okay.
On your lunch break.
Yeah.
Even waiting in line at the grocery store.
Okay.
It's really about turning those, like, mundane moments into opportunities.
Well, I like that. Sneaking in mindfulness.
Exactly. Sneaking in mindfulness wherever you can.
Okay, but what about those days where, like, sitting still or quieting the mind just feels impossible?
Oh, they happen. They definitely happen.
Yeah.
And the article, they offer some advice for that.
Okay.
They say experiment with different types of meditation. So if sitting meditation feels too challenging,
Yeah.
try walking meditation.
Oh.
Try a body scan.
Okay.
Remember, there's no one right way to meditate. It's about finding what resonates with you.
Oh, so find what works for you.
Yeah, what works for you and what feels most supportive in that moment.
Oh, that's such a good reminder.
Yeah.
Any other resources or tips that you'd recommend to someone starting out?
Well, the mindful.org website itself is a fantastic resource.
Okay.
They have tons of articles, guided meditations, courses, even a community forum
Okay.
where you can connect with other meditators.
Okay.
And they also have a great newsletter that delivers mindfulness tips and inspiration straight to your inbox.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of their guided meditations.
Yeah.
They have a lot of variety, which is helpful.
Yeah, they do. And there are also lots of apps out there.
Oh.
And online platforms that offer guided meditations and courses, Headspace, Calm, Insight Timer, just to name a few. So really, it's about exploring and finding what works best for you.
It's like having a personal meditation guide in your pocket.
Right, exactly.
So much support.
There is.
Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive, what's one piece of advice you would offer someone who's maybe, hesitant or intimidated by the idea of meditation?
I would say approach it with curiosity and kindness.
Okay.
Don't put pressure on yourself to do it perfectly.
Okay.
Just start by setting aside a few minutes each day, find a comfortable spot, and focus on your breath. It's a journey, not a destination. And with each breath, you're cultivating a deeper connection with yourself and with the present moment.
That's beautifully said. It's not about, like, striving for some elusive state of enlightenment or something.
Right.
It's about being present.
Being present.
In this moment.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, the benefits extend far beyond that time on the cushion.
Okay.
It's about bringing that mindfulness, that awareness into all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
It can transform how you interact with yourself, with others, with the world around you.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into meditation for beginners.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we've covered so much The basics, the benefits, the challenges, the resources. But ultimately, the most important step is to simply begin.
It is take that first breath, embrace the journey, and discover the power of meditation for yourself.
Until next time, be well and be mindful.